Oh, welcome, friends. We're still here in Northeast Philly, headed to Burlington, Vermont. This is my second attempt at this flight this morning. It's actually 1:50 in the afternoon in Philadelphia, but we took off and we were climbing, just passing like 32,000 feet, about 10 minutes into the flight, and then I got my first crash to desktop that I've had in, I don't know, months. So very frustrating. Anyway, so I've dispensed with all the startup and setup portion of the video just because I'm irritated, but we're going to try it again, and hopefully it works better this time. We're all ready to go on runway 15. Wind's coming out of the southeast. We'll start our timer and hope this works out better than it did last time. Let's go. Hold the brakes. It's a 5,000 foot long runway. And 2% equal and a nominal. Let's go.
Approaching runway 0624.
80 knots. 120. Rotation speed's 139. There it is. Positive rate. Gear up. Autopilot. Auto throttle.
Cessna Tree Bravo Whiskey, contact Philadelphia departure on 123.8.
To lights.
123.8 for Cessna Tree Bravo Whiskey.
Start our left turn.
Philadelphia departure Cessna November
the north.
34 Tree Bravo Whiskey.
Engage
is at
HDG mode.
1,400 feet, climbing 11,000 feet.
Looks good.
Cessna November Tree 4 Tree Bravo Whiskey, Philadelphia departure altimeter tree 0.06 continuous planned.
Bring in those flaps. So frustrating when that happens. I've felt pretty spoiled lately. It's been really stable. Let's go ahead and engage the FLC, set 210. I don't know what the problem was, but really frustrating. I restarted the PC, heading into the clouds now, outside air temperature 16 degrees, no danger of icing yet. We did encounter some icing on our climb out on our last failed attempt on this flight due to the CTD.
Cessna Tree Bravo Whiskey, contact Washington Center on 124.775.
Sim's not always accurate, I don't think, when it comes to some. I'm showing 6,000 foot climb out, 6,000 foot per minute climb out rate. That's pretty steep.
Washington Center,
250.
Cessna November Tree
As
4
we close in on
Tree Bravo
10,000
Whiskey is
feet.
at 7,500 feet, climbing 11,000 feet.
The lights up in the cockpit just a little bit.
Cessna November Tree 4 Tree Bravo Whiskey, Washington Center altimeter tree 0.06 continuous planned.
Coming up on 11 here, we're going to level out, hopefully get further climb instructions. When we get to 10.8. Clouds look great, as they did on our last flight, which ended unpleasantly and suddenly somewhere over western New York. Oh yeah, he's coming right at us. Jesus. Look at this guy.
Cessna Tree Bravo Whiskey, traffic in sight.
Cessna Tree Bravo Whiskey, climate maintains 17,000 feet.
Up to 17,000, says the River Whiskey.
Climate maintains 17,000 feet, Cessna Tree
Re-engage the
Bravo Whiskey.
FLC. 17,000, we'll set on the altitude selector.
JetBlue 2506 has the traffic.
JetBlue 026, wherever you are at this moment. It was nice seeing you so up close. Okay, we're at 11,300. We'll go ahead and set our speed now up to 300 knots.
Cessna Tree Bravo Whiskey, contact New York Center on 124.625.
We've blown right past the track line because I'm so distracted by that CTD, and we'll engage the nav now at this point.
Fly Cessna Tree Bravo Whiskey. New York Center Cessna November Tree 4 Tree Bravo.
Little right turn to get back on our
feet, climbing 17,000 feet.
appropriate course. Say we were going like this, flew right past it. Now we're just turning right. Get back on as we head up to Albany. That's where we're headed right now. Yeah, I really wonder what causes CTDs. You know, I haven't had one in so long that I guess I was just feeling like the sim was pretty stable, but obviously not. Hopefully the PC restart, sometimes that kind of cleans things out. There were a lot of demands being made on the GPU in terms of the scenery, no doubt about it. It's a 277 nautical mile flight up to Burlington. About 40 minutes. There's the icing. It's back. See it? Up to 250, so that's Whiskey. Set our speed to 310. Clouds look great. We're on our track line now. We'll go ahead and set our MFD range at 35. A lot of planes. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12 planes within 35 miles. Busy skies. Passing through transition altitude. I don't know why Betty didn't say anything to us, or maybe she did. I didn't hear it. Anyway, we'll standardize that also on the standby. It's just so beautiful. I really want it to work, you know? Look at that thing. $3305, 3315 since we're listening. Please work. Please work. I'll take the oscillation roll. I don't mind. Just don't crash the desktop again. Passing 22,000 now, headed to 250, 25,000. Set 315. Just trying to get every knot out of this thing that I can to make for a efficient, expeditious flight up to Burlington that doesn't result in it freezing and me crashing the desktop, because that blows. Nice little tailwind, 32 knots. Coming up on 25,000, that's why you hear the engine spool back. 24.8 we should get. That's the AI is programmed to give you further climb instructions within 200 feet of your assigned altitude. So.
Southwest 4467 traffic is 1 o'clock 4 miles at flight level 245 Cessna C700.
That's me.
Report them in sight. Cessna Tree Bravo Whiskey traffic is 4 o'clock 3 miles at flight level 260 generic.
4 o'clock.
Report them in sight.
It's him right there. I don't know how I could have him in sight. He's behind me, but regardless. Okay, further climb. Up to 350, so that's the Whiskey. We're going to cruise the altitude of 39,000 on this flight. Please don't crash. Please don't freeze. Please don't freeze. Please don't freeze. I know I'm preaching to the choir on anybody else who flies in this sim, how frustrating it is to have it freeze up. Especially, you know, you put a lot of time, or I put a lot of time into planning the flight, laying out the waypoints, entering the FPL into ForeFlight, setting up, all that stuff, and then just to be, you into the flight, and then it just freezes. It's just, you gotta start from scratch. You gotta fight that urge to just walk away and go sit on the couch. Could still happen, I don't know.
Descend and maintain 4,800 feet. Expect ILS runway 19 approach.
You'll see or you may have noticed our synthetic vision here on the PFD is back.
47 miles southwest.
I got a lot of helpful suggestions from people on flightsim.com
Runway 26 approach.
or flightsimulator.com. But ultimately, it just appeared. It just returned. I don't know if it had something to do with the fact that I took out of Key West, and that was modified scenery. So maybe
4301 traffic is 8 o'clock 4 miles.
starting there caused it some issues. I don't know.
Report them in sight.
Passing 29,000 now for 350.
American 2134 traffic is 1 o'clock 4 miles. And
Switch over to Mach mode now.
generic.
Climbing at 2,800 feet per minute. Switch over to Mach mode. FLC showing 313 knots
New York Center on 12.
indicated. So if we switch this over, it's probably going to be 7.8 Mach. 7.8. There you go. We'll eventually bring that up to about 0.83 Mach. True airspeed right now listed as 477, 476. Maximum true airspeed on this airplane is 483 knots. Please don't freeze. Please don't crash the desktop. I'm begging you, please. It's just a short flight up to Burlington. You know, as frustrating as it is for me to have crashed the desktop 15 minutes after we took off, I really feel for those guys who are 8 or 10 hours into a, transatlantic flight and it happens. That's got to be mind-numbingly frustrating. Okay, we're coming up on 350. Go ahead and set our Mach at 8.8.
New York Center United 16 Flight 1 is at 9,300 feet, climbing 10,000 feet. United 16 Flight 1 New York Center altimeter 30.10.
Still got some high clouds. Those are really high clouds. Okay, coming up on 35,000, and we get to 34,800. We should get a climb instruction up to flight level 390. $34,700, 10, 20, 30, 40, 50, 60, 70, 80, 90, and
Tree Bravo Whiskey climb and maintain flight level 390.
up to 390, so through the whiskey. All right, there you go. So there's our cruising altitude.
Climb and maintain flight level 390 Cessna Tree Bravo Whiskey.
Cessna Tree Bravo Whiskey, contact New York Center on 132.6.
32.6 says the whiskey.
132.6 for Cessna Tree Bravo Whiskey. New York Center Cessna November.
Flying over
34
upstate right
Bravo
now.
Whiskey is at flight level 355, climbing flight level 390.
Passing 36,000.
Cessna November 3, 43 Bravo Whiskey, New York Center. Continue as planned.
Minus 45 out. Everything looks good configuration-wise. IT temperature 837 left and right, and 1% is 100. I'm gunning it. I have important passengers. I need to get to their destination. Looks like we'll be just on top of the clouds. We'll set 8.3 for our cruising altitude speed. Please don't crash the desktop. Please don't crash the desktop. Please don't crash the desktop. I'll tell you, I hate that feeling. It's like walking around on a trap door waiting to spring open underneath you, you know? All right, we're up at our cruising altitude now, 39,000 feet. 34.3, so 3 whiskey. All right, hand off to Boston Center.
To 134.3 Cessna Tree Bravo Whiskey.
Weather up in Burlington.
Boston Center Cessna
75 degrees, mostly cloudy. Winds out of the west-southwest. As I said, we're landing on runway 15. Same runway we took off of. That is, we took off from runway 15 out of Northeast Philly, and we're landing on runway 15. Well, at least I hope we are. Let's see if we can squeeze a little more out of this bird. Take it up to 0.84 without overspeeding it. I think we're okay. If you see the bug right here, it's below the barber pole tape, so that should be able to handle it. 84% of the speed of sound. We don't want to push our luck. Not quite on top of the clouds, though. I'll be damned. Please don't crash the desktop. Please don't crash the desktop. Coming up on Lake Minnewaska. Not that you can see it. It's OBC, as we say, obscured by clouds. We have landed at Burlington before in the sim. Months and months ago. I think in the fall of last year. October, November maybe? I don't remember exactly. And that was in the TBM. So we've never landed in Burlington in the longitude, so. RNAV runway 15 at Burlington is an airport elevation of 335 feet, approach course of 146. Runway length is 8,319 feet. Minimums are 526. We'll go ahead and enter those while I'm thinking about it. Please don't crash. 526. Okay. Timer showing 16 minutes since we start our takeoff roll. Just skimming along these cloud tops, kind of, I don't claim to be an expert, but cirrus clouds, I think. We are above, according to ForeFlight, we're above some moderate rain below us. Not feeling any chop though, so hopefully that's a good sign. True airspeed 484, 485. That's about as fast as this girl can go. We don't want her to break up. We're 187 miles from our destination, or 187 miles left on the route, I should say. Should expect to receive descent instructions at 130 miles out, at least if the sim is playing nice today. Nice day out. It's the Hudson River obviously out here. We're sort of paralleling the Hudson River as we head north. Please don't crash. Please don't crash the desktop. I'm begging you. Last time we flew into Burlington, we also landed on runway 15 in the TBM. I actually found the video on my YouTube channel. I think it's up to like, I don't know, 11 views. But it was pretty cool. Getting to re-familiarize myself with the approach. As I noticed on that video, it's a kind of a neat approach from the northwest over the city of Burlington. A lot of rain below us right now. Nothing, you know, biblical, but it's definitely rainy in upstate New York today. But local time is 2:10 p.m. I think we're outside icing issues, so turn that off. Leave our pitot-static heat on. I'm a big proponent of doing that in all cases.
United 830 traffic is 3 o'clock 4 miles at 7,500 feet to Derrick.
United 830. Let's pull that up on FlightAware. What do you say? FlightAware.com. What did I say it was? UAL 830? Let's see. That is a real flight in place. In progress. 830 is currently flying from, oh yeah, Mumbai, India to Newark, New Jersey. Wow.
Generic 14 Tango have the generic.
Arriving shortly. Or at least it was a flight today. But FlightAware seems to suggest that plane is already landed. Or is about to land. Oh yeah, I see. Well, I don't know. It's hard to tell from this. Anyway, there's some United flight going from Mumbai to Newark. Oh my God, can you imagine that flight? Oh, jeez. Mumbai to Newark. Oh, that's a long-ass flight. That's a really long flight. India to New Jersey. Jesus. Considerably longer than our flight. Showing 156 miles left, nautical miles left on our flight. So we should expect to receive descent instructions if the sim is playing nice here soon. Assuming you don't crash the desktop again. Yeah, I was really disappointed that it crashed the desktop on that first video because I got some great visuals, incredible, beautiful visuals of the clouds and stuff. I don't know if that was part of the problem or not. Well, I know I'm always jibber-jabbering, so let's just sit here together and listen to the beautiful white noise of our girls' engines. Should get set instructions here in just a couple minutes. Oh! Okay, well, so much for my ASMR theory.
Descend and maintain flight level 310.
Okay, down to 31,000. Giving us our descent instructions a little early. Maybe 2 or 3 minutes early. 31,000 it is, down to 31,000. Let's slow a little bit here so we don't get an overspeed. 2135 says the real ski. Okay.
121 decimal 357.
I feel like I'm walking on eggshells here that it's about to CTD again.
Boston Center Cessna November.
Huge tailwind.
Bravo Whiskey is in flight level
Left quartering
35,
tailwind,
descending
61
flight
knots.
level 310.
62 knots, that's bitching. It's going to get us there nice and quick.
Generic 9 Whiskey
I think the sim gave it an estimated 36-minute wheels up, wheels down duration, but I always take that with a grain of salt. Just about to pass over Albany, where it's raining. My Flight is estimating our touchdown in about 22 minutes. 23 minutes. Put us on the ground in Burlington at about 2:37 p.m. local time. Set our send it 2,200 feet per minute. We'll switch out of mock mode here in a minute. Yeah, my Flight screen is completely green and yellow. Passing over Albany, Schenectady, whatever you do, however you pronounce these weird names. It's just northwest of us. Making a little left turn here. Very slight left turn over Albany. Switch out of mock mode, leave it at 300 knots indicated. All right, closing in on 31,000, 125 miles out.
Air Canada Flight
Shallow out now to 2,000 feet per minute.
around 134.3.
120 you'd expect to be at 36,000, so.
Traffic is 1 o'clock 2 miles at flight level 300 generic. Report them in sight.
1 o'clock? Don't see anybody at 1 o'clock on radar or anywhere else.
Cessna 3 Bravo Whiskey traffic alert. 10 o'clock less than 1 mile, flight level 300 generic.
No,
Report them in sight.
he's off to my 9 o'clock, but he's 3,000 feet below me, so
Piedmont 617
not really a traffic alert.
1 o'clock 2 miles at flight level 330 Cessna C700.
Dude, he's already passed me.
Report them in sight.
Let's talk about this guy right here. Man, there's a lot of planes in the air.
Bravo Whiskey traffic in sight.
Okay, coming up on 31,000.
134.3 for Air Canada 524. Boston Center Lindbergh 4589er is passing
Okay.
flight level 185 descending 10,000.
31.8 for 31. 318 for 310.
4589er
Doing 300 knots indicated. Should get further descent instructions. I don't know why our altimeter is 29904. I thought I synced it. That one's synced. My mouse has been acting up lately, I've noticed. When I click that, sometimes it does a double click even though I only clicked once. Might have been why.
Cessna 3 Bravo Whiskey descend and maintain flight level 190.
Down to 190, says the real estate. Okay.
Descend and maintain flight level 190 Cessna 3 Bravo Whiskey.
Please don't crash the desktop. Please. Lot of rain.
6177 traffic in sight.
Saratoga Springs. Right over it. Still got our oscillation rolls, you can see. Kind of rolling, little left, little right. It is what it is. 60 knots, 62 knots still coming from about our 8 o'clock. The west-southwest. Or actually from the due west. Not doing much for us in terms of pushing us along. Still showing touchdown about 19 minutes. Altitude's fine. 101 nautical miles out. We're at 28,000. Shallow out to 1,800 feet per minute. Please don't crash the desktop. Please don't crash the desktop. Little chop. Starting to feel a little chop. Gonna get ready to go IMC. Descent into known icing conditions. Get our anti-icing equipment back on as we get ready to dip into this soup. Weather appears to be clearing ahead a bit. Not a lot, but a little. Not reporting any rain in Burlington at the moment. Doesn't mean there won't be any. The sim is generally pretty accurate when it comes to the weather, but not always. Getting ready to head into the soup, guys. Get ready. Might feel a little chop as we head into these clouds. It's beautiful. Current weather, Burlington still listed as mostly cloudy, 77 degrees now. Winds out of the southwest at 5 miles an hour. All right, we're IMC. Zoom in on our MFD down from 35 to 20. Coming up over Lamed. In terms of our approach, See, we go to Unid, then Stuyve, then Junel. According to the published approach plate, where's Foves? There it is. The published approach plate shows us at 3,200 feet at Stuyve. At Foves, 2,000 feet. The distance from Stuyve to Foved is 6.5 nautical miles. Distance from Foves to Junel is 3.1 nautical miles. Distance from Junel to the airport is 2.1 nautical miles. Total final approach, 11.7 nautical miles. Start slowing a little bit here. Still IMC, completely IMC. In the clouds, totally. 80 miles out, 23,200 feet. That's great. Sorry, there's not a lot to not a lot to look at scenery-wise. Winds are down a little here aloft, down to 41 knots. Still pretty chunky though out of the west. Passing over Lake George.
Cessna Tree Bravo Whiskey, you are 5 miles southwest. Descend and maintain 13,000 feet. Expect RNAV runway 15 approach by a unit transition. Clear to unit.
Okay, we'll descend to 13,000. We'll expect
Descend and maintain
RNAV
13,000
15 via unit.
RNAV runway 15 approach by a unit transition. Clear to unit. Cessna Tree Bravo Whiskey.
And mouse wheels, your best friend and your worst enemy, I swear.
Cessna Tree Bravo Whiskey, descend and maintain 3,400 feet.
Down to 3,400, so 3 whiskey. So that 3,400 is what I mentioned.
Descend and maintain 3,400.
The published approach plate
Cessna
actually
Tree
shows
Bravo
3,200 feet at Stuyve. But
Cessna Tree Bravo Whiskey, contact Boston Center on 135.7.
we'll send to 3,400 here on the altitude selector.
Going to 135.7 Cessna Tree Bravo.
Please don't
Whiskey.
crash. 3,400 right there on the altitude selector.
Boston Center Cessna November 34 Bravo Whiskey is
20,000 feet. Let's continue slowing down to 2,900. Out of the clouds. Got the ground in sight anyway. God, that looks good. Looks really good. Wow. There's the 3,200. That's listed as the published approach plate altitude for Stuyve. Kind of a gloomy day here in Burlington.
Descend and maintain 3,200 feet.
63 miles out. We're at 19,000 feet. That's great. Please don't crash the desktop. That's all I can say. But for now, it's going okay. 60 miles. 18,200 feet. Spot on altitude-wise. Is that 285?
Transition altitude. Nearest altimeter 3009.
All right, Betty says nearest altimeter is 3009. Let's see if she's right. Let's see if the sim is right, I should say. 3007. Fine. Looks good. Showing about 12 minutes now. Let's bring the MFD range down to 10. At least the skies are quieter. Jesus Christ. When you're over Philly, Newark, and New York, I mean, it's just one airplane after another on the channels. Who knows? Maybe that was part of the problem. I don't know. There's a million variables. Literally, there may be a million variables. 16,000
Pier 183,
feet.
contact Boston Center on
Slow to
120
280.
35.
As we close in here on Burlington, Vermont, where it's a pleasant, if gloomy, summer day. 50 miles out, 15,500, continue slowing. Altitude's good. Yeah, maybe I should, when I redid the video, I should have gone and done the whole startup procedure, engine startup, taxiing, and everything. I was just so irritated, though, when it happened that I'm like, fuck it, let's just start from the runway. I guess I shouldn't complain. I hear about what some people do with where it literally crashes the desktop like half the time. Every 1 in 2 flights they'll CTD. I mean, I haven't had that. It's just frustrating because makes you wonder what was the problem, what caused it. Winds down now to 21 knots out of the west-southwest. Outside air temperature -1. $13,900 feet. Down to 3,200. Got to be at 250 at 10. No problem. Another airplane out there. Let's see the ACLs. Kind of fun to be returning to Burlington after landing there in the TBM. Last, whatever, October, November, something like that. Weather's a little better, for sure, up here. They're not dealing with all the rain that they have there in Albany, west of upstate New York. Lake Champlain. Just out there at about our 1 o'clock, 2 o'clock. See if we can get a glimpse of it. There it is. I've never been to New York.
Cessna Tree Bravo Whiskey, contact Boston Center on 120.35.
2035, says the see. Good day. Let's continue slowing.
120.35 for Cessna Tree Bravo Whiskey. Boston Center Cessna November Tree 4 Tree Bravo Whiskey is at 11,000
A lot of chop,
feet,
though.
descending 3,200.
Not a lot, but some moderate chop. I'm definitely feeling it.
Cessna November Tree 4 Tree Bravo Whiskey, Boston Center altimeter tree 0.06, continue to unit as planned.
3006 now from 3007. We'll make that correction.
Executive 524 traffic is 10 o'clock, 3 miles at 10,900 feet, Cessna C700.
Look at this guy.
Report them in sight.
That's who they're talking to.
Cessna Tree Bravo Whiskey, contact Burlington approach on 121.
Nice. There's the approach handoff. Slow to 250 as we
121.1 for Cessna Tree
just
Bravo
about at
Whiskey.
10,000 feet. We're at 10,200 feet right now. Now 245.
Burlington approach Cessna November Tree 4 Tree Bravo Whiskey is passing 10,200 feet, descending 3,200 feet.
34 miles out, 9,800 feet. Perfect altitude-wise.
Cessna November Tree 4 Tree Bravo Whiskey. Burlington approach altimeter tree 0.05. Continue to unit as planned.
3005. Okay, we're headed towards Unit, almost to Unit. Specifically, 2 minutes 28 seconds from Unit. 11.2 nautical miles. It's 5 degrees Celsius outside. Still some potential for icing dangers, all the way up to 10. Keep an eye on that. Continue slowing. Gonna make our right turn at Unit, and then another right turn at Stave. Once we get to Stave, we're on final, so. Shallow out the descent rate slightly, 1,500 feet per minute. 30 miles out, 8,300 feet. Actually shallow to 1,200 feet per minute. And continue slowing. .215. Coming out of these clouds. Outside air temperature now 7 degrees. Winds 13 knots from the west-southwest. Slow to 210. Beautiful. Look at Lake Champlain. My goodness gracious. Fantastic. Just gorgeous. God damn it. Please don't crash the desktop. I swear to God, when this thing works, it's so, for me anyway, it's just, it is the cat's meow. Let's go to 200. Lights up a little bit more. Let's get our landing lights on. We're at 7,000 feet. We'll go and depressurize. It's safe. It's at 195. Showing us about 9 minutes now. Units coming up. See? 54 seconds. At a distance of 5 kilometers. 3.1 nautical miles to unit. We'll keep our speed here at 195. We'll continue decelerating between unit and stave. Return final at stave will be at 180. 22 miles out now, and at 6,000 feet, shallow out the descent rate, 1,000 feet per minute. Just gorgeous. Look at Lake Champlain, my goodness. There's that little right turn, that unit I mentioned. Just amazing. Ah, it just takes your breath away. I think that's our airport. That is our airport. I remember from watching my YouTube video on my last approach into this, into Burlington. That's it. There we go. Ah, you can almost see the cheese farms. All right, now we'll slow to 180. Make sure we're properly configured for landing. Could still drop the desktop. Could still crash the desktop. You never know.
Generic 78 to 21 miles north. Descend and maintain 5,800
89 seconds from stave.
Retreat by approach via captain transition.
86 seconds from stave. It's showing 4.8 nautical miles. 4.5. 78 seconds. Slow to 180 now. Keep an eye on our AOA right here, this white triangle. We don't want it getting too close to that red. Winds are nice and mild. Let's do a notch of flaps. Okay. Getting ready for our right turn. Down to 2,000, says Real Whiskey. Again, that's the next published altitude at Fauves, or Fauves, right here. Fauves, 2,000. Right turn coming. Continue slowing, 175. Put us on the ground about 5.5 minutes. Here's the right turn. $13 miles out. Fucking gorgeous. There's the airport. Oh my God. How is it possible that an airplane can look sexy? Okay, there we go. Turn in final now, gang. 11 miles out. There's the runway, dead ahead. Right there. Nice to be flying back to Burlington. Landing lights are on. AOA is getting a little slippery, so let's go outside. We're 10 miles out to our gear. There we go, baby. Now, Check our AOA again. Still, you see it's pretty stable, but we're going to do another notch of flaps. And slow. 165. Approach speed. 141. Eight miles out. Just looks so pretty.
Cessna 3 Bravo Whiskey, you are 8 miles northwest of Burlington. Contact Burlington Tower on 118.3 when inbound on the approach.
18.3, Cessna Whiskey. Good day.
Tower on 118.3 Cessna 3 Bravo Whiskey.
Go ahead and slow now to our approach speed, 141.
Burlington Tower Cessna November 343 Bravo Whiskey 7 miles northwest inbound RNAT runway 15 approach.
And we'll do another notch of flaps.
Cessna
Full
November
flaps.
343 Bravo Whiskey Burlington Tower. Altimeter 30.07, wind 275 at 5. Cleared RNAV runway 15 approach.
275 at 5, so winds are out of the west.
Cleared RNAV runway
Not aloft,
15
they're not.
approach Cessna 3 Bravo Whiskey.
See if that holds. Okay, airspeed's good. 140, fully configured. There's the OMI.
Wind 275 at 5. Cleared to land runway 15.
Clear to land, 15, so that's what I was seeing. Gotta activate the EPPR. We're too high, so let's go ahead and hand fly this baby, huh? What do you say? I was waiting for the RNAV love, never seemed to get it. It's a cool shot. Perfectly aligned, we're just a little too high still, but it's easily managed. Let's trim us a bit. Whoops. Hit the flaps button. There we go. Okay, now we're good. Now we're on the glide path. Let's see if that re-engages. There we go. Beautiful. On the glide path now.
2 mile final runway 15.
Airspeed stable. 139, 140. There you go. Slightly right of center. Wait for the call out. Here it comes.
500.
Autopilot.
Autopilot.
I have the airplane. Back to Burlington. Lined up. Altitude's good. No poppies or vossies, but we've got the glide path indicator there on the PFD that's helping us. One 5 confirmed. Pretty butter. A little bit of a tailwind, very slight. Those reversers on eventually. There we go. All right, welcome to Burlington. 239. Looks like we got an exit off to our right here. I never did zoom in on that damned MFD.
Cessna 3 Bravo Whiskey turn, next taxiway.
Let's see if I can make this turn. Yeah, we got it. All right. Welcome, friends.
Cessna 3 Bravo Whiskey contact.
There are no spoilers.
126.3.
And no CTD.
126.3
Happy
Cessna
day.
Bravo Whiskey.
All right, we'll contact ground. And request taxi to parking. Oh, I guess it's only gates. Okay, no taxi to parking, only taxi to gates.
Burlington ground
Whatever.
Cessna November 343 Bravo Whiskey taxi to the gate.
Let's get back in. Bring in those flaps.
Bravo Whiskey taxi to gate 5 via taxiway cross
Gate
runway
5.
Charlie
All right, bring in those flaps.
Taxiing to gate 5 via
Beautiful.
taxiway cross runway 1 Charlie Bravo Cessna Tree Bravo.
I don't know why sometimes it lets you taxi to parking and other times it only gives you the option to taxi to the gates. I don't know, go figure. All right, we'll stop our timer. 49 minutes. That's a lot more than the 36-minute estimate the sim gave us. Anyway, landing lights are off, taxi lights on, post lights off, and let's go. Let's go park. Welcome to Burlington. I don't know how a jetway is going to work with this plane, but whatever.
Approaching runway 01, 19.
Nobody's coming.
Entered runway 01,
Wind turbines.
19.
All right. Well, I'm just glad that it worked. And there was no CTV again. That's just so disheartening when that happens. I don't know. Maybe what's the lesson? Restart your PC before you fly, before you use the sim. Restart your PC. That may very well be the lesson. I don't know. There's still lights in the. There's still lights in the center. They still haven't fixed that. That's been known since the beginning. But there's no consequence from it, so who cares, right? All right, friends. We are in Burlington, Vermont, yet again after, 8 or 10 months? After a fun second attempt, but flight up from Philly. And we're just happy to be here. Happy to be anywhere, right? I don't know if we're going to get a Marshall or not. I'm guessing probably not. But we'll make it work. It's okay. It's funny they're putting us at a gate. We're not the only ones, though, if you see those other planes off to the left. There's a Cessna at the gate. I love it. I don't know from this, but I'm going to follow this. Not that. I don't want to go like this. I'm going to go like this. Oh my. These are interesting jetways. We're going to look at this in a second. Whew, that wing's coming in right under that jetway, isn't it? Let's see if we can get right up to that line. What do you say? They're like, dude, you're okay. All right, there we go, friends. All right, there we go. Beautiful. I'm kind of curious about the. I think somebody needs over at Sobo needs to focus on Burlington because. Where are you supposed to go? This is like a carnival maze. Where are you supposed to go in this? Even if I were to exit onto this thing, then where? That's hysterical. Anyway, welcome to Burlington, Vermont. Let's get the parking brake on. Let's kill the right engine. We don't have any CTDs. That's all I care about. Lights. Already dealt with our timer. Well, I enjoyed that, if nothing else. Got our hour-long episode, or about an hour. We're happy to be in Burlington, Vermont, without a crash to desktop, and we'll see where fate takes us next. I'm sure the busy week at work ahead of me, but this was a fun Sunday, full flight, and I hope you enjoyed it as much as I did. Have a good one. Let's kill the left engine and drop to the logbook screen, although it's not dropping to the logbook screen, so I don't know why sometimes it does this and other times it doesn't. So we'll kill the electrical equipment, generators, and left battery. There we go. That brought it to us. All right, so there you go. 47-minute flight from KPNE, Northeast Philly to Burlington, Vermont. We're glad you joined us today. Enjoy the rest of your Sunday, and I hope you have a great week. Take care.